guys, how's it going? It's your boy, Big Blue Drew 97 here, coming at you with another review for My Hero Academia Vigilantes, manga chapter 80, titled, Who's the Villain? It's 6. It's obviously 6. Oh, sorry. I mean, it's obviously Rock. I mean, come on. He's a very lovable guy. He's a hero. He's obviously the villain. But yeah, with that little sarcastic little intro out the way, hey guys, today we're going to be doing a review of this chapter of Vigilantes, and I like to, before we get right into it, I like to ask y'all to leave a like if this is something that y'all want to see more of, leave a comment as well as subscribe to my channel, and with that, let's get right into this chapter review. So for starters, I really want to do a quick look at the cover page where we just see Endeavor, we see Koichi, we see the Curler, the Crawler on the cover page of this chapter, as well as we see Soga, Rat, and Miuru. We see them on the cover, and they don't, specifically when it comes to Rat and Miuru, they don't really play a crucial role in this chapter, but they are in a sort of flashback scene in this chapter, kind of explaining what Koichi is doing. So it's a cool cover page, nothing really special about it. It's very nice, very well drawn. But now let's really get into the meat and potatoes of this chapter. So we actually started this chapter with Endeavor kneeling on the ground like a defeated warrior that just lost his will to live. But no, in actuality, he has overheated himself, because if you remember, Endeavor's quirk, Hellfire, allows him to use large amounts of fire, but there's the drawback that it causes him to overheat. So we see some people come in basically spraying him off with fire extinguishers. But what I found this interesting is within the story of My Hero, both in Vigilantes and in the original My Hero Academia manga, we never truly see Endeavor succumb to his burden, his weakness of his Hellfire quirk, where he has to overheat. Because the only times where we see him is that when he uses them in quick, short bursts, which do not allow him to be burned by being overheated, or it's with his fight with Hayanomu, where he did overheat, he did overuse his power, but the only reason why he was able to still keep going was with the help of Hawks, basically pushing him forward, as well as him using his flames to push him forward. He was unable to move that entire time, which can kind of be seen in the chapter where he just kneels on the ground and he's not really moving, and also having people actually physically cool him off. So that's something that we see in this chapter. And then immediately, as soon as someone comes in to cool him off, he's we have Tsukuchi, the detective, who comes in and is basically telling everyone that, yeah, we may need to fall back because Popstep is on her way here. And Endeavor, not caring what the detective says, is no, I'll be ready in 5 more minutes. Everyone, go on upon our location, because within that 5 minutes, once I'm fully back up to stuff, I'm going to get rid of Popstep and the Crawler in one fell swoop, turning them all to ash. So, Endeavor being Endeavor. But it does show that, relatively speaking, once he has the ability to cool down, it would take him 5 minutes to get back up to his not full power, but be back up to the point where he would be able to stop Popstep or Pop Queen from doing any more damage. So that's kind of a tale of how long Koichi has to rescue Pop, free her from the grasp of the villain, as well as potentially take down Rock in the process. And speaking of Rock, we cut over back to Rock and Compass Kid. Yeah, and we see that they hear this siren, which alerts all of the heroes in the area to go after the villains, where Compass Kid is oh wow, that's weird, why do we have to go after the villains? What happened with Endeavor? Maybe he overheated. And then Rock makes comments huh, so he gets overheated. Huh, that's good information to know. So, that's gonna play a role into Rock 6 doing something evil, obviously. No, I'm just joking. Rock is a good guy. He's very lovable. Everyone loves Rock. But tying into that, as Compass Kid is okay guys, let's go stop that villain. Oh no, there's a bee here. So we see one of the bomb bees going right in front of Compass Kid. And I'll say, when I first saw that, I'm like, oh, Compass Kid is dead. Alright. Well, he really didn't serve that big of a purpose, but yeah, he's dead. So, you know, bye Compass Kid. And then the bee does explode, but it doesn't do a fiery explosion or damaging explosion. In actuality, what happened was it didn't really explode, it just got ripped to pieces because the crawler comes in for the save using his I hate the name of this attack. It's he uses his Shooty Go Kablam. Yeah. He uses his special move, Shooty Go Kablam, and I love hero moves in My Hero Academia. I truly do. Hair of Fire is a cool quirk. The tornado that Endeavor used in the previous chapter, that is a cool name. Shooty Go Kablam. Like, it reflects Koichi as a person and as a character. I just hate the name. But luckily enough, in this chapter, we see that it can be abbreviated to KG, KB, which, in all honesty, that sounds so much cooler, and that's what I'm going to be referring to throughout this entire review and throughout this manga. I will never call that ever again. So, Koichi, as the crawler, uses his KG, KB to shoot down not just the bee that was in front of Compass Kid, but the bees that are also in front of the other heroes in the area as he like scoops down the way to try and rescue Pop. And from here on, we get sort of like a realization of how Koichi is going to be stopping Pop Step, as well as like everything that was informed to him by Soga about the situation. So we get sort of a flashback. It's not really in like a gray color scale, so it's not like it's a flashback obviously, but it can get very confusing on whether or not it's actually a flashback. So I'm just gonna call it a flashback. We'll get a flashback of Koichi and Soga and how he's telling him what he needs to do, how he's gonna use his KB to take out the bees and not hurt any of the people, which is a very important thing to like talk about because that's something that Pop Step wasn't really a fan of, Koichi using his attacks to attack people. So by the idea of him using it to attack the bees and not to attack the other heroes, that kind of plays into the idea of like, yeah, I'm listening to what Pop Step said and not using it to attack people, as well as like not having to like instigate like any type of argument with the heroes as well as the people. So he's shooting down the bees, as well as he has his homemade smoke bomb, which Soga tells him like, yeah, just in case like the bees swarm around him, you can basically use it as a distraction because it has the bee pheromones in it. So while Koichi is scooting down the way, shooting out all the bees. And something else I want to mention is that how precise Koichi is with his KGKB, which he's able to shoot these moving objects out of the air with such precision to make sure that they don't blow up. And this just shows how much training he has gone to train his quirk to the point of being able to do this. So not only has he trained up his speed, but he's also trained up his like precision in taking down these moving objects. So that's something that I was really interested in seeing how much he has developed. So after he's used the smoke bombs, he's taking out only the bees. He also realizes that there are heroes around him. And so what Soga tells Koichi about this is that don't attack the heroes, don't make contact with the heroes, use them to your advantage and lure them closer to Pop Step. So the main goal of what Koichi is doing is taking out the bees, distracting the bees, gathering all of the heroes around Pop Step. So at the moment in which they're just about to enclose her here, Koichi as the crawler would come into the rescue and get her out of this situation. And potentially there's an idea of like they may know how to get the bee out of her, because if I remember correctly, and I will put some type of disclosure somewhere in this video if I am wrong, or I may just take it out, but there should be a point where, if I remember correctly, Soga was involved with Knuckle Duster when Knuckle Duster first took out the queen bee inside of his daughter, and he knew of ways to get the beat out of her without killing her. It may have been like very dangerous, but he was still able to do it. And I'm fairly certain Soga was either in the vicinity or knew about it, so he possibly knows a way to rescue Pop Step in a similar fashion, even to another point of not like risking her life with it as well. So that's something that I'm pretty sure has happened, and why he knows all about the beats. And so with that, Koichi goes through all of this trouble, and we also get to see Rock and how he sees what Koichi is doing, and he gets mad. He's like, oh, so that's what you're doing. So Rock, also 6, decides to jump into the air using his overclock quirk that he stole from Knuckle Duster, and he just kills 3 heroes. Like, he just kills 3 heroes. No hesitation, just takes out a gun that he has on him. He takes out a gun that he has on him at all times and like shoots the heroes dead. Some of them may seem like, oh, that shot probably didn't kill him. One of them was a headshot. Now, I've never been shot in the head, obviously. But if you get shot in the head, 9 times out of 10, you're dead. So he has taken out some of these heroes, and as soon as he hits the ground, Compass Kid just looks around and is like, oh my gosh, these people have been shot. What do you think, Rock? And he's like, maybe it's that kid that just like scooted around here. What was his name? The Curler? Yeah, maybe he took out the heroes. And he's just expecting Compass Kid to like fall for it. But weirdly enough, he doesn't. Compass Kid like calls him out and is like, no, that can't be right. He was actually helping the heroes. There must be another villain around here. And he just spins around using his pointer quirk, and he's like, says, all right, show me where that other villain is. And then he points to Rock. And there's a point that I want to make with this, because this shows that when it comes to Compass Kid and his quirk pointer, if he's looking for something and he says it, it'll point in the direction. Like, wherever it is, it'll just point in that direction. And even if it's like something vague of like, oh, this person got killed by a murderer. All right, show me the direction of the murderer. He could find the murderer. He'll point in a direction, and he could probably like say that a few times to get like more precise with it. But it shows like if he like wants to find something, that he can find it no matter what. Even if he like doesn't know who the person is or what it is, he can just find it. So he asks where this other villain is. He points to Rock, and he just has this look on his face of like, oh no. As Rock pulls him to the alley, and spoiler, he kills him. Yeah, Compass Kid is dead. Like, he's straight up dead, not coming back at all whatsoever. He's straight up dead. And what is cool about this interaction is not the fact that 6 kills him. He brings Compass Kid, picks him up, pins him against the wall, and basically says, man, you're like just a horrible hero, and you're like, I bet you don't even love your family, don't you? And he's just basically ridiculing this Compass Kid. And what is great about this is that it kind of shows Compass Kid in a different light, because at first he seemed very annoying. He wanted to be a hero, he wanted to play hero, but then we also saw that he had a family, and you're thinking like, well, if you have a family, why would you like be a hero? Why would you put yourself in danger still if you truly love your family? And he explains that, yeah, I do love my family. And this kind of shocks 6 to a point of like, oh, man, I was wrong about you, Compass Kid. I was wrong about you. But then he's like, but you know my identity, so I'm gonna have to kill you. So he does. So what I also found interesting about that scene as well is that we know for a fact that the reason why 6 is like, the reason why he has overclock quirk, the reason why he has the scar on his eye, even though we don't see it now, is because he has this weird like fascination with heroes, like a weird like way to emulate them. Like, he loved he loved Knuckle Duster so much as a hero that he tried to like make himself into him, as well as like being able to take his quirk. In that he has this weird twisted idea of heroism in the same vein as Stain. So when he came to this realization like, oh, you're a hero, you don't care about your family, and then he realizes, oh, so you do love your family, okay, I was wrong about you. So he does have a way of like understanding and comprehending the feelings of people, but because of like just him being like a straight up villain, and just him being a straight up villain, he's like, oh, I understand you, I'm still gonna have to kill you. So he's still like a horrible person, and he's a villain, but he has a little bit more nuance to it. And after we learn more about this new ones, he basically says this, right? It's time for Pop Step to have her last song, her last like hurrah, as indicating that Six's plan is going to come to a fruition now, involving Pop Step and Koichi, and it's probably going to happen within the next 5 minutes. And that's how the chapter ends. So yeah, all in all, I thought it was a really good, I wouldn't say a really good chapter, I thought it was a good chapter. There was a lot of good points in it, particularly with the interactions between Six and Compass Kid. I really did enjoy that because it showed like it still showed another layer of Six that we've already known about when it comes to his fascination with heroism, and it just shows like he still views heroes in like a brighter light, even though he's going about it in like a negative way, even to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, you're a good hero, but because he's still a villain, he still had to kill Compass Kid. So I thought that was something I really enjoyed, as well as like showing like how Koichi has grown when it comes to his abilities as well, how he's able to basically snipe bees out of the air with ease, like no hesitation, able to do it precisely. And I find that interesting because it shows how much he has grown. One detractor from this chapter for me is probably what happens right before the incident between Six and Compass Kid, is that you have Koichi and he's going through his head about everything that was explained to him by Soga, but it doesn't concretely show whether or not it is a flashback, because later on we also see Six, as soon as Koichi is finished thinking about the flashback, it appears as if Six saw the flashback and reacted to that, because, alright, I see what you're doing, kid. And it seems very weird, and it didn't flow correctly for me. It didn't flow well for me, so that's probably a detractor for it. But overall, still a very good chapter. Also, being able to see Endeavor actually go through a cooldown period was also very enjoyable as well. So yeah, overall, I thought this was a very good chapter. Some points of improvement probably summed up as like the pacing towards the middle, but all in all, really good chapter. It shows that this series is really coming to an end. Cannot say exactly when, but I would give a guesstimate of maybe around 10 to 20 more chapters before this series comes to an end, because we have to have a few questions asked about how Koichi no longer is the crawler, no longer a hero, or even if he is still going to be a hero, because we know that for the fact that this fight is going to be the last fight of the crawler, but we do not know if this is going to be the last fight for Koichi being a hero. Also, we have to have the resolution of Koichi and his story with Pop Step, and how Pop Step loves Koichi, and whether or not she's going to express that love to him, as well as like seeing like where their future will go from here. So like I said, all in all, really did enjoy this chapter. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you really did enjoy this video, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, do all of that cool jazz, and I will catch you in the next video. Woo!